You're on.
Good morning, Westminster, and good morning, Boyd, and good morning, Juanita.
Hello, Ken. Hello, Juanita.
Good morning, guys.
Good to have you. You're sitting in Carol Cook's chair this morning. So Carol wasn't able to be with us today, but very glad to have you here as our guest.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
How are things going with you?
Good, and I hope I have a good message for you today.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Sure
Juanita, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got to Westminster and some of the other things that you've done since you've been here?
Well, I got here because my husband and I lived 5 minutes from here for the last 62 years, and we were very well acquainted with Westminster, and we were going to sign up. We signed up while he was alive. When he passed away, I knew this was where I wanted to go. I've been here 3 years and very happy. I feel like I made the right decision. And what else did you ask me?
Well, what all have you done since you've been here?
Oh, that's what you asked me. Okay, well, I guess I kind of stayed in hiding for 3 years because after doing 60 years of volunteer work, I really was burned out. So I have just recently, the last year was on the food committee. And this year, I will tell you why I'm here. I took chairman of the casino night.
Oh,
And we're bringing back the casino night.
Hooray, hooray. Yeah. Well, good for you. You had some experience in the casino fundraising business, didn't you?
I did, and I really had several occasions to be in fundraisers. And instead of doing a casino night, we did a horse race night one night. We did give away a car one night. And basically, the casino night is similar to any of those things.
Yeah.
but you know, it's a big fundraiser for Westminster.
You know,
And it goes to where's the funds go?
the association, the
Oh.
Westminster Association.
The Residents
Residents
Association.
Association, yeah. And we need it. so
Bad
that's
year.
good. Well, tell us about the casino night. How are we going to do that?
Well, we're doing it with a lot of changes and perks, but we are doing it in spite of pandemic. And it's going to be April the 8th in the evening from 6 to 8. And we have to do it in 2 different rooms this year because of the 6 feet away. And so we're doing the Harris Bell Hall as always. We're also using the Laurel. We will have machines, all the machines in both rooms.
Oh, you're talking about the slot machines?
Yeah, the slot machines and the roulette and
Oh,
the
yeah?
poker table. No, roulette
Blackjack table.
and blackjack table.
So you're gonna have them in the Laurel and in the HBH?
Correct.
All right.
And people can go from one to the other, or they can stay in the same room.
Mm-hmm. And
That's one of our changes.
and so admission is strictly limited, huh? I mean, if you don't get a ticket, you can't come.
Exactly, and they're limited because we can only have 70, excuse me, 70 people in each room. So we're printing 140 tickets. And I want to impress, don't wait till the last minute to get your ticket, because once we sell out, we're not printing anymore because that's all we can hold.
Can I mention one thing real quick?
Sure.
Last year, Carol and I bought 1 ticket, and she came with me just to watch me play a little bit of blackjack or whatever. And it's so much fun. And it was so jam full with a lot of people. But this year, if you don't have a ticket, you can't even get in, right?
Correct. 1 ticket per person, and you can buy one at the door if we still have them. But I highly recommend that you get your tickets 1 per person ahead of time.
Did you say how much they were going to be? Did you say how much they were going to be?
Oh, that comes next.
Oh.
They are $40 a ticket, which gets you in as you always with your ticket, with your chips and a drink. And there's not going to be any VIP this year. It got too complicated. So all tickets are the same price for everybody. And I must tell you this, it's for residents only. We cannot let outsiders in this year.
Yeah. Well, we're being very careful, and the casino company, they're all screened, and the machines and everything are going to be very safe, as I understand it.
Exactly. They've done several during the pandemic, so they know how to sanitize everything, keep machines distancing. But the only thing is, on the slot machines, they're together, they're bound together. So for two people to do the slot machines, they will be not next to each other, but in the vicinity.
Well, now, where do you get your tickets?
Okay, your tickets. Well, first of all, each association member will have tickets to sell. They all don't know about it yet. And we have tickets from the casino night committee. We will have tickets for sale at the Preston and at the Windsor library.
At the library?
I'm sorry, not library, lobby.
Lobby, you mean up at where marketing is in the Windsor?
No,
The marketing library.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Marketing,
in the Windsor.
Yeah,
I'd say
That
you
is considered the lobby.
right.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then at the main lobby at the Preston.
okay. And then you have them there, and can you pay credit card or cash or what, check?
Cash or check only, no credit card.
And these are tax deductible this year?
Yeah, they are again this
The
year
whole thing
because they're a contribution to the
is
residents.
tax deductible.
Okay.
Yeah.
The checks would be made out to WRA, Westminster Residential.
That just put
Westminster
Westminster.
residents.
Okay.
And we'll fill in the rest.
We're getting a little echo now.
Our-
Yeah, and you're frozen up there a time or two, but I think all the message got through. And can you hear me? It looks like our connection has failed us, folks. Yep, you're gone. So I'm going to pause the recording until you come.
So let me ask you, Nita, where do you get the tickets?
Okay, the tickets are going to be sold by the association members.
The executive committee of the board.
I'm sorry. And with the casino night committee, they're going to be sold at the marketing for Westminster, sorry,
Lobby.
Windsor.
and they're going to be sold in the lobby for the Preston.
Okay.
So everybody will have an opportunity to buy a ticket or two, and the money goes to a good cause because it ends up with the Residents Association, and then most of our money goes to the Friendship Fund and to the Employee Scholarship Fund. So besides.
Well, also, isn't it tax deductible this year, Anita?
Yes, it's all tax, the whole thing is tax deductible. And I will say, they cannot, this is another thing we had to change, but we cannot serve food like we did in the past.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have snacks, and they will all be wrapped so that you can pick up a wrapped snack.
And I guess there'll be adult beverages.
There'll be adult beverages.
There better be.
There'll be the bars like in the past.
Yeah.
And I guess you'll have to just sip your drink real quick and then put your mask back on.
We don't want them drinking fast. But the people have an opportunity to enjoy themselves, just like we do in the dining room. I mean, we're able to eat and drink in the dining room. So as long
True.
as we keep
And
reason.
everyone's meals will be delivered to their apartments that night, because the Laurel will be set up, as I said earlier, as one of the two casinos. So we have to have it emptied before dinner in order to set up.
And did you say that if I want to start in the Laurel and end up in Harrisville Hall or vice versa, I can do
may,
so?
you can go back and forth, or you can stay in one room. Now, because of that, in the split rooms, what we're going to do this year is use the table, the round table in the lobby of the Preston. And the week of the casino night, we're going to display the prizes, because you cannot do a drawing in two different places for the same prizes, or having people go back and forth. So we will display the prizes so everyone can see them. And then at the end, we will have the drawing probably later that night and call the people that win.
And that's going to be virtual, right?
Right, that part will be virtual.
So that's based on your ticket number, I guess, whatever your ticket number is. Okay, so who does that? Ruth or somebody?
Ruth is gonna do that.
In charge of the drawings, and the prizes, are they gonna be pretty nice, or do you know yet?
We don't know yet, but it sounds like that they're gonna be as nice as ever.
Fantastic.
And Ruth is gonna do the drawing, but I think she nominated me as chairman to do it with her, so that everyone's, if they're unhappy, they'll be unhappy with both of us.
Share the blame. Well, I think I thought I heard Ruth say there was a possibility that they would show the drawing live on 1890 the next day. Is that
maybe.
changed? Yeah.
I don't know about that yet.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, so everybody could
Yeah,
tune in,
that's a good idea.
and keep their fingers crossed about whether they won one of the prizes. So instead of having it based on, you don't get a number of tickets based on how much money you won. Everybody will have one shot at the
One shot at the drawing, yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little different than it has.
So what can we play if we go to casino night? Blackjack, and you can play the
slots, roulette,
okay,
craps, and I
And
don't
then-
know, is there a poker table? I think there is. I'm not
Was there
sure.
one last year?
I think there was, yeah.
Then there probably is.
And then you have the slot machines.
Slot machines, as many as we always had,
Okay,
but split between the two rooms.
And everything all the tables will be available in both rooms, I think.
I think so. There was
Maybe there's a
one
question
they
about
were
the roulette.
questioning.
Yeah. But you can have fun in either place, or you can go back and forth, as long as the 70 number is respected. So
can I mention one thing, Boyd?
sure.
Sarah said yesterday, yeah, you remember, that because they're using the Laurel dining room that evening, that there will only be serving breakfast and lunch till 2. And then then they'll be setting up the dining room. So if you want to eat that night, it has to be a delivery only. So you have to just call them and order it for your room, and fill out that sheet of paper to make sure you get the menu for the week that they send around. And be sure, if you're not going to go to these parties, that you won't be able to eat in the Laurel dining room on the evening of the 8th of April, because it's going to be closed to set up the casino party.
You can still get lunch, and you can still have dinner delivered. So
That's right.
but not that night. So this sounds like a really exciting event. Do you have a lot of help on your committee?
We have a good committee, and of course, food and beverage is a wonderful help. They're guiding us. If we don't know something, they do. So we have several good guides, and I think everyone's excited about it. It'll be wonderful to get out of your apartments, to go to something fun, which we haven't been able to do for months and months. And I think that everyone will have a really good time if they'll just come and socialize and go from room to room, or stay in one room, whichever they would like to do.
That's right. And it's also the, I believe, 54th anniversary of founding of Westminster, I believe. This is also a
That's right, boy. That's
birthday
right.
party for Westminster, so it would
Right.
be a lot of fun. And
Boy,
yes,
didn't you also say that some of this money goes to the library?
it goes into the resident association account, and of course we spend money on the library, we spend money on the banner, uh, we spend money for any other special needs for residents. We've helped support some of the changes in Harrisville Hall with money that we've raised. But every year, then when we look at our surplus and we decide how much of that surplus to give either to the Friendship Fund or to the resident or to the Employee Scholarship Fund. And so those are both really good causes. And so even if you don't gamble or just want to support the fair and support Westminster's the Residents Association and those two funds, you should really buy a ticket, yeah, or buy two,
Or give a donation.
or give a donation. Yeah, give
Yeah,
your place to somebody else. If you're not
Hey,
planning on coming, you could give a donation of $40 or $80, and somebody else will be able to use one of those places because
Exactly.
we expect it to be sold out.
Yeah, and because of the limit this year, it's probably going to sell out early. So don't wait and then be disappointed because you can't get a ticket.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Okay.
it seems like here people do things fast. When there's a ticket to buy or something to go to, they do it fast. So get your tickets right away.
Well, we're, tonight, this is the Patty's Pub first night of presentation. And then Wednesday night, there's a second night. There's a limit of 30 people for each of those performances, and they sold out almost immediately.
That's right.
They were almost, so we've had to add some performance on the night we were going to do our dress rehearsal, which is Sunday night.
Sunday
Is that
afternoon.
right, Ken? Yeah. So at any rate, that's evidence of how much people are eager to get a little entertainment and have some fun. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I
So-
think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm glad they're serving drinks because that helped me a whole lot last year when I was losing so much money.
It didn't help you win. It just helped you not feel so bad about it. Is that right?
Right. Well, I am really, really glad we were able to do it because it was very questionable. Were we going to be able to do it this year?
Yeah.
How can we do it? And I think we've crossed most of the big problems.
I think Chuck and his team really wanted us to be able to do this, and they've tried to help us find ways that we could. And
Well, they got a good gal heading it up. Nita's doing a great job.
Thank you.
you may
Ken.
find that this is a lifetime appointment.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that. But at least next year I'd know more what I was doing.
So Nita, while we have you here, tell us a little bit about your working career. I know that you worked for Barbara Jordan when she was in the Senate, in that state Senate. Isn't that right?
This is not fair, Boyd. You didn't ask me to give my background, but yes. In my other days in Austin, I worked by a fluke. I worked for Barbara Jordan when she came up here as a freshman senator. And I was in her office until the entire time she was in Texas, until she went to Washington. And my story is, she asked me to follow her to Washington. At the time, we had 3 little girls, and Joe and I and the girls drove to Washington, and we stayed one day and saw what was going on and the traffic. And I said, we're going right back to Austin, Texas. and I never regretted my decision.
So much for your career in the,
My career ended
in
in,
the
well,
swamp.
actually it didn't, because then I worked for another senator.
Yeah,
And then after she retired, that's when I retired.
but
That's when I started doing volunteer work full time.
you didn't
I was
want to
gonna
have,
say,
didn't want to
I was
have
gonna
any
say-
empty time there. Yeah. So she must have been quite an imposing, impressive person. You knew her so
Right.
long. Yeah.
But it was a wonderful experience, and it's something that I'll always have special.
Yeah. And that's where you,
I was gonna say,
you became,
Boyd,
excuse me.
the Texas legislature is probably wild enough, and she didn't need anything wilder like in Washington.
Well, that's a different kettle of fish up there, I think.
You bet.
It is.
Yeah.
And she hired an administrative assistant that had been in Washington for years, and
Yeah.
that's what she needed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sure you would have done a wonderful job, but and your family, your husband ran a very famous establishment on the drag, didn't he?
He did. We had a men's store on the drag catering to the college boys. And he got a lot of extra large sizes. So by reputation, we began having as customers the football players and the basketball players, because they knew where they could get extra size clothes.
Yeah.
And we had that for about 18, 20 years
Wow.
till he retired.
What was the name of the shop?
Well, it was two. It was Joris Menswear at the corner of 24th and Guadalupe.
Yeah.
And then we lost that lease and we moved down to near the corner of MLK in Guadalupe, next to Chase Bank.
Oh, yeah.
And we still catered large sizes, but we made it a much smaller store. The
Yeah.
original store, we sold shoes and jewelry and the whole bit. Here we just went down to clothes. And
What year did that store open? Do you remember? The first one.
Pardon?
What year did did he open that store? Do you remember?
Oh, 1952.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember going by there when I was in school, but I couldn't afford anything you sold. So
And what years? What year, Boyd? What years were you there?
Well, Boyd,
I was there
about-
from 52 to 55.
Boyd, that's about all the time we have. If you want to say goodbye and thank Nita, and be sure you're going to tell her you're going to buy a ticket.
Yeah. Thank you, Nita, for
Boy,
being with us.
You'll buy a ticket,
today.
won't you?
Yeah. Everybody buy a ticket. I think they're going to be people, you won't have any trouble finding somebody that wants to sell you a ticket. I've already talked to 2 or 3 people. I have some to sell, and they said, "Oh, so-and-so's already talked to me." So either they were
gotta do
lying or
that.
the people are out there working already. So thank you so much for being here today. And I'll just remind everybody that the Patty's Pub program is in the solarium tonight and on Wednesday. Those are sold out, but it's possible that you may know somebody that wants to let you have their ticket. I don't know. And it looks like Ruth has got Irish programs all week. So just enjoy the Celtic culture. Okay. Is there
Right.
anything else, Ken?
No, thank you, Boyd. Enjoyed being with you, and I'm just delighted to be here with Nita, and she's an exciting leader of the casino committee, and I think it's going to be fantastic.
I'm sure it will be. Thank you
And thank
again,
you
Nita.
for having me.
Yeah. And tell Carol hello. Okay.
Okay.
Tell her we missed her. All right.